Hi, everybody. This is Alan Fine. I'm here with Flora Gassier, who is the Market Development Specialist for New Brunswick. We want to tell you about New Brunswick, Canada, because it's just New England, but more so. And we want you to get your clients to come on Insider Travel Report. Flora, thank you for talking to us.
Thank you for having me today.
So, you lived in a beautiful place, and yet you decided to move from France to New Brunswick. Tell us why, please.
So in France, I was a military police officer for 11 years. And for my first mission, they sent me in the south of France, in Marseille. And I was doing communications and managing and hosting major events on behalf of the French government. Then I had the opportunity to be sent in the French Caribbean, in Martinique, and for 6 years. And I was doing money laundering, white-collar crime, which is completely different from tourism, of course.
No, but you can launder money during... Never mind. Keep going.
And so then I visited New Brunswick a couple of times, and I just fell in love with this province and just the people. So I decided to jump ahead and to move to New Brunswick 4 years ago.
That's great. So your love of New Brunswick came out as you gave a presentation this morning. Let's talk about where. So we know it's above Maine. Let's talk about its position and just geographically what's so special about it.
So New Brunswick is on the east coast of Canada. It's part of what we call the Atlantic Canada, composed of 4 provinces: the province of New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, PEI, and Newfoundland and Labrador. So it's really a place where the sea is omnipresent, and it is well positioned geographically. It's really the centerpiece of the overall region, bordering Nova Scotia, Quebec, PEI via the Confederation Bridge, and we also border the United States via the state of Maine, which makes us very accessible to travelers coming through air getaways, on cruises, and via rail programs.
So one of the things you said about New Brunswick is it was a province of storytellers. Can you explain why?
Oh, yes. So something you will really feel during your trip in New Brunswick is the blend of cultures. So this year we have a brand new experience called the First Nation Storyteller. And it's all about Dave. He's Indigenous, and he was taken from his family when he was 5. So when he became a dad, he decided to go back to his culture to learn more about his community, and now he's sharing his story and culture with the people that come to visit St. John. So St. John is on the Belle Fundy. It's Canada's oldest incorporated city. So they have 3 brand new products with the First Nation Storyteller. The Gathering. So you just gather around a fire and you eat bannock and you tell stories. But they also have the Indigenous Storytelling Walk. And also the Menawesk, which is a meeting place, and they just regroup and talk about the First Nation stories.
You said you sit around the fire and you eat what?
Bannock. It's a specialty. It's like a kind of a bread, and it's excellent.
Okay. Then we talked about a nighttime event.
Yeah. So we have a brand new experience called Lumina Night Walk. It's at Le Pays de la Sagouine. So Le Pays de la Sagouine is really like a cultural destination where Acadian traditions are alive. You can really feel what we call the joie de vivre in French. So the new experience over there is going to start August 1st, and it's Lumina Night Walk. First one in Atlantic Canada. There is only 12 in the world. We have 7 in Canada, 3 in Japan, 1 in Singapore, and 1 in France. So it's really like a 1.5 kilometer walk, and you will be able to experience the lights. It's an enchanted, luminous walk that reveals the exceptional beauty of the nature.
New Brunswick hosts events and festivals.
We do have major festivals in New Brunswick, and we're so excited. Like this year, we're going to host the YQM Country Festival, and we have which is in Dieppe, and with the biggest names of the country, like Keith Urban or Morgan Wallen. So we're super excited. But also we have the Harvest Music Festival in September in Fredericton, the capital city, the best international festival experience on Canada's East Coast. So you have to check that out. We also have another festival, Indulge Food and Wine Festival. It's going to be in October in St. Andrews. We have the NB Spirit Festival in Fredericton in November, and it's Canada's oldest spirit festival.
Mm-hmm. So now tell me about the bricks experience.
The Bricks experience is a brand new hands-on experience. So if you love learning and enjoy good food, wine, delicious seafood, I think that's the activity. The activities includes culinary classes, cocktail classes. So yeah, it's really warm, friendly. So you can just go with your friends and family, and they will really enjoy it.
Is it held outdoors, indoors? Is there a special place it's held?
So it's indoor, and you have very different rooms: a coffee shop, a restaurant, a huge kitchen, and then you have a big bar, and you can just do and enjoy different cocktails with the cocktail classes, of course.
Now, people don't realize that New Brunswick has its own caviar.
Yes, it's the Acadian sturgeon and caviar. So the story behind that is Cornell Seba and Doreen Seba. They are passionate about those fish, and they just wanted to share the passion to the world. So really, Cornell's dream was to run an aquaculture farm and fishery that are equally sustainable and just avoiding the overfishing that collapse sturgeon stock around the world.
So this is done sustainably, correct?
Yeah. So we would think really that New Brunswick is the only producer of sustainable white sturgeon and caviar in New Brunswick, in Canada, sorry, which is awesome.
Now, which do you think is better, the lobsters in Maine or the lobsters in New Brunswick?
Of course, the lobster in New Brunswick, because we have the lobster capital of the world, which is Shediac, and we have a brand new interpretive center, which is Omaris Eco Center, and you can learn everything about the lobsters.
So let's talk about a new lodging that's come up.
So we have a brand new accommodation called Creekside R&R. It's really mirror cabins that offer an immersive nature experience. So as you can't see nothing from the outside, you can just enjoy the nature. It's the second one in Atlantic Canada, so it's something you really have to experience, and they really provide the luxury nature experience featuring a red cedar, a hot tub, private fire pit. It's uniquely designed, and outside you have a beautiful spa too, and you can just go enjoy and relax.
So somebody wants to hike. Let's talk about your trails.
Oh yeah, so we just finished the connecting road last year of the Fundy Trail Parkway, which is a 45 kilometers park hugging the coastline, so the Bay of Fundy. Really the highlights are the lookouts. You can bike, you can hike, you have observation decks, you have waterfalls. So it's really, really niche. And talking about that, this year we have the Hearst Lodge. They are going under huge renovations, and there is so many stories around the Hearst Lodge.
So now let's talk about wildlife and the places you can see it.
In the Bay of Fundy, 200%. So really, the Bay of Fundy is the habitat of choice for some of the world's rarest whales, including the endangered North Atlantic right whale. And it's partly because the world's highest tides bring an abundance of food, but also because it's a sheltered area where the whales can feed and give birth.
Are there specific islands that travel advisors should be aware of?
So you have Campobello Island, Grumman Island, but really you can also go to St. Andrews. So it's St. Andrews by the sea. It's a seaside resort town watched by the Algonquin Resort. Over there you can just jump on a boat, a Zodiac, a tall ship, or really just to go and come closer to the greatest sea creature, really.
And then you talked about sea caves. Tell me about how we can see sea caves.
So in the Bay of Fundy, we have the Sea Caves of St. Martin's. Just over there, you have Bay of Fundy Adventures with Mike and Jordan. So you can just jump on a kayak and just go along the sea caves, get into the sea caves as well. And it will really make sure you get the true Bay of Fundy experience, meaning getting the true hospitality of the locals.
This was intriguing. The Hopewell Rocks. What can you do there?
So the Hopewell Rocks is just amazing. So we have the highest tides in the world. So at low tide, you can just walk the ocean floor. And at high tide, you can just jump on a kayak. It's really the highest tidal paddling experience on Earth. The tides reach it out 4-story high, which is huge.
So you just have to time your visit, and you see something different each time.
Yeah, well, in 6 hours, you can experience the high tide and low tide.
So how warm can the water get?
So we do have endless sandy beaches, and we have the warmest salted water in Canada on the east coast, on the Acadian shore. So you have to come and experience that.
Now, what beach is this?
So this one is Parley Beach.
I'm going to have trouble saying this, but the Restigouche River, what's so special about that?
So you can just plan a river run on the canoe or on the Restigouche River. You can also experience a world-class salmon fishing experience. So it's really the place to be if you want to do like fishing.
And Canada's just full of parks, but so's New Brunswick.
Yes, we do have like national parks, provincial parks as well. If you want to enjoy like really the starry nights, we have Couchibuquoc National Park, and we have also the Mount Carson Provincial Park, and they're both designated dark sky preserved by I think it's the Royal Astronomy Society of Canada. So it's something you really have to experience.
I'm hoping we're whetting the appetite of the travel advisors that they're going to want to go. And so how can they learn more? Where could they go for that?
So they can go on our website, www.tourismnewbrunswick.ca, but they can also contact me, and I'm pretty sure you're going to put my contact, but it's Flora, Flora, .gassier, Gassier, @gnb.ca, and I will be more than happy to answer your questions.
Well, thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you so much for having me today.
And I just want to get the travel advisors to watch all of our coverage of Rendezvous Canada and start thinking about Canada. And this is Insider Travel Report.